I used to complicate homemaking so much. I thought that I had to have the perfect fancy meals every evening. I thought I had to have these massive cleaning charts and that my home had to be decorated a certain way. And really, I was just complicating things. And what I've learned over the years is that homemaking is really about doing simple things over and over again every day with love. And when we get back to the basics of homemaking, it's really just being faithful in these little things every day. And so in today's video, I want to talk about bringing back the beauty of simple homemaking. And I'm also going to be sharing a Christmas makeover here in my living room. I'm going to be sharing our new couch that is from Valencia Theater Seating and Furniture, and they are sponsoring today's video. And then we will just also share one of my family's favorite finger foods for the holiday season. So let's go ahead and get started. When I was first married, I believed that in order to be a good homemaker, I had to do all the things that I saw online. And I thought that I needed to have these elaborate cleaning systems and that every meal I made had to come from a cookbook and had to be some complicated recipe with a bunch of different ingredients. I thought that my home had to look a certain way, like some blog that I had seen online. But really, that way of thinking just made homemaking feel like a giant burden. And instead of enjoying my home, I felt like I was constantly behind and constantly searching for the next thing to make homemaking better. But all of that just left me feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. And it was really because I was complicating it and I wasn't just going back to the simple basics of homemaking. So I found so much freedom and joy when I decided, instead of comparing myself to everyone else, instead I chose to just embrace simplicity as a homemaker and really focus on the things that actually mattered the most. And truly, the heart of homemaking is about caring for the physical, spiritual, and emotional needs of our families. So when I break that down to just the very basics and I reflect on just what is it that really my family needs, there are 3 priorities that I try to make in my homemaking. The first priority for my family is that they have to eat. It's so simple, but we have to eat in order to survive. So I make sure that I have a plan for meals every day and every week. And then I also make sure that there is food in the house. So I go grocery shopping or I have a grocery order delivered to the home. And that just makes sure that we have food to eat. In addition to that, I make sure to clean up the kitchen every night after dinner. And that way we have clean pots and pans to make the meal. And then we also have clean dishes to eat off of. And that seems so simple, but when I focus on, okay, this is what I'm going to get done. This is just a simple thing, making sure my family has food to eat. That just helps alleviate the burden that homemaking feels like. And then the second priority is laundry. My family has to have clean clothes to wear. So staying on top of the laundry is a part of just one of my daily habits. And then third, I make it my goal to create a space where my family feels safe and welcomed and loved every day. One of the biggest shifts for me was just remembering that all of the things that I do here in my home are for the people in my home. It's not just to check things off of my to-do list. It's not to compare myself to someone else online. It's for the people that I love. And that is just such a simple beauty when you think about why you are doing the things that you're doing in your home. And that mindset really helped me to slow down instead of rushing through my homemaking tasks just to say that I did them. I really try to be present in the way that I care for my home. So often when I'm folding laundry, I'm talking to my kids. When I wash the dishes, usually one of them is with me drying, and we usually have a little chat. As I go about my chores, sometimes I'll just turn on some worship music and I'll listen and I'll sing, and I'm not rushing through those things. I'm spending intentional time working on my home, but also focusing on my family. And that's so important. We spend a lot of time in our living room, especially on our couch, and our old couch was starting to fall apart. So my husband had actually suggested that we start looking for a new one. And the very day that he mentioned this, I was contacted by Valencia Furniture, and they gave me the Valencia Artisan Leather Sectional Sofa. It was delivered to our home in a couple of boxes. And honestly, I probably should have waited for my husband to help with the boxes and moving the couch upstairs when he got home from work. But the kids and I were just too excited to open it all up. And so my son ended up helping me get the couch upstairs in our living room and getting it all put together. And we have just really been enjoying it. I love that all four of us can sit comfortably together on the couch. We can have conversations, we can relax watching TV and just hang out in the evenings. And it's just been a very comfortable couch. You don't sink down. That's one of the things I like in a sofa, one that sits you up and has enough leg room. And the cushions are sturdy, but they're also soft and comfortable. So I am really enjoying the sofa. My kids have been loving being able to just sprawl out. They each pick a corner and then just lay their legs out, and then they've been able to rest and read and just hang out. And I'm also just very happy with the high quality of this sofa. I love the color and the relaxed look of it, but it's also just very beautiful and functional. And so I'm really enjoying having that here in our living room as just a place for my family to gather and to love being near each other. When we slow down with our homemaking and we just focus on the simple basics of meals and laundry and time together spent with each other, it really may seem like small things, but these are the foundations to a peaceful home. Colossians 3:23 reminds us that whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord. And when I remember that these daily routines are just small acts of service, but they all matter because I'm doing them for the Lord, every dish that I wash, every load of laundry that I fold, every moment that I spend listening to my children and taking time teaching them, all those little moments matter. I thought about putting our stockings up in a different area this year, and I had kind of been thinking about where we could put it, but my daughter said, "Mom, it's a tradition. You're supposed to put it up there by the stairs." So I just decided to leave the stockings up here on the banister, which is just another simple thing. Like when I was decorating for Christmas, I pulled out all of these different things that we use in our home year after year. And the nativity and the little village, they all are things that my family looks forward to bringing out of the bins every year. And it's just a simple thing that we do, but it makes such a difference in our home and just the feeling of nostalgia, and seeing these simple traditions every year is so much fun. And it just reminds me of just the foundations of homemaking. It's these simple things. It's not something that has to be complicated. When we embrace simple homemaking, we're also practicing gratitude. Instead of waiting for a perfect routine or a perfect home or just a perfect circumstance in our lives, we choose to learn to just be faithful right where we are, wiping down the counters, switching the laundry, cooking the meals. They might seem like small tasks, but they matter deeply because over time you build that consistency and you create a stability, and that's what brings peace into our homes and for the people that we love the most. And it's just those daily, faithful, consistent, quiet acts that turn a house into a haven. And when we have that, it's so much easier to be thankful for where you are, no matter what the circumstances. If today's video has resonated with you, I want to encourage you to sign up for my free resource called the Keeper at Home Quick Start. It's just a simple 5-step biblical approach to homemaking so that you can focus on what truly matters without feeling overwhelmed at home. So I will leave the link in the description, and I'll also try to leave it in the first comment if you would like to check that out. Today, I'm also sharing with you a family favorite finger food. We often have this on Christmas Eve, or we'll have it for holiday breakfast. And if I have a party that I need to bring some sort of an appetizer to, I always love bringing these. These are called sausage balls. I didn't know about them until I married my husband. They're one of the recipes that his family loves creating. And so it's probably a Southern appetizer, but we enjoy having them, and it's really simple. It's just 3 ingredients. It is 1 pound of sausage. We use just regular Jimmy Dean sausage, but you could use the country mild or the sage or really any flavor that you enjoy. And then 2 cups of flour and 4 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. And then you just mush it all up. That is the hardest part about this recipe. It takes a long time to get everything incorporated. But then once you do, you just pinch off a small amount, roll it up into a ball, and I bake it at 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. And our family loves this little finger food. I will leave the recipe typed out in the description box if you are interested in making it. It's a really simple dish that everyone has loved. At least they have said that they loved it when I take it to different parties and things like that. If your family has a favorite holiday finger food that you think is super easy as well, I would love to hear what that is, and you can leave that below in the comments just to give ideas. It's always fun to hear what other people like to do. It has snowed here a couple of times in Nebraska, and so we have just been enjoying the beauty of it and also gone sledding. And right now, the snow is actually melted as of this video, but we're hoping for a white Christmas. We'll see if that happens or not. But anyways, I just want to encourage you to embrace the simplicity of homemaking. Go back to the basics. It's really just about caring, like I said, for the physical and emotional and spiritual needs of your family. And it's those day in simple things that you do faithfully. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to make it complicated, but just showing up faithfully every day. And of course, if you are in search for a new set of furniture in your home, I would encourage you to check out Valencia Home Theater and Furniture, and I will leave a link below if you would like to check them out. So I hope that today has encouraged you, and if you have liked this video, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.